Welcome back everyone to another brand new ranked 1v1 video. Hope everyone's doing amazing. Hope you're all living your best life. As always, we're one win away from taking back the #1 spot. However, this video is going to be a little bit different. That's because I have the games that we played recorded, but my audio cut out in all the games. So this is actually me not live right now. I'm actually in the video that I recorded. And we have a look at this board. Let me just pause it and let's just take a look at this, right? This is the first game against Ali Reza Farouja. Really good chess player. I'm joking. I'm sure it's not actually him. But yeah, this board sucks. This board definitely sucks for us. I mean, so I actually really panicked on this board to begin with when I saw the 8-5-10. I saw my timer ticking as we just speed through here. I'm really looking at the 9-10 being a possibility. And I'm looking at how I can make some sort of advantage to myself on this board. Because clearly with the 8-5-10, you know, 9-10's not ideal. So what can I do to kind of force him into something not so great? Maybe trick him. Because I honestly think this board's just... You can play something really simple like 8-3-4 and 9-3-10. I think that's probably the most standard thing you could do. And maybe, yeah, maybe that could win. Maybe that could. The 3 rolls every now and then. You've obviously got the 9 of wheat, which is really good. I think perhaps I should have played that, but the route I decided to take as my timer ticked all the way down to 5 seconds was I was like, you know what? Why don't we do something a little bit different here? I wanted to play this 9-10 and start on the 3-1. And my idea here is, okay, we're gonna play without the sheep. But what I want is, well, if I take 6-3-4, right, then he's got 8-4, and he's got this all-wheat sheep as well. I basically decided, let's pray he doesn't play all-wheat sheep. Let's give him a really solid pick here, which is 6-11-4, and then I'll play 8-3-4, and I'll build into this, this 9-3-10, and what happens is he doesn't have the extra weight. If I can get here reasonably fast, then we can maybe cut him off from building into the 9. I am on double 9s. The 3 is doubled. Coordinated 10s as well. Our brick never gets blocked. We roll reasonably well. So it's not a terrible start to this game. As you guys can see, my hand is pretty good here, right? I've got the 3-1. I can just take 9-3-10. And I just rolled a 7 as well. So this is a really big part of the game. I'm not exactly sure what he's holding, but I think he's reasonably close. A lot of 4s rolled, a couple of 11s rolled as well. So we have a really simple thing here, like we can just take 9-3-10 and obviously get our sheep. I decided to play greedy. I really shouldn't have. I'm not sure why I did. I was like, you know what? There's been a bunch of 7s early game. Let's take a city on 8-3-4. Be really greedy. We still have our 2 roads. All we need really is another 8-8 and then like a 10 or something, and we can get into 9-3-10 and really just pray that the 7 doesn't roll. So we take the city, we get a 4, which is actually really good because 8's also 4 roads, which means we can go 1, 2, 3 and just defend the whole thing, right? He can no longer get on the 9 wheat and we're kind of safe, I guess. But he's also at 9 cards and he's very close as a 9 rolls as well. And then unfortunately the 7 hits. He steals my brick. And then he rolls another 7 directly after. And then it just gets really bad from here. My greedy mistake led to him getting 9-3-10. All of a sudden I'm just left with my city. I'm blocked. He's got now double wheat. Yeah, in hindsight, it's a terrible move. I mean, he did roll another 2 7s, like back to back almost. So he would have robbed me pretty well. At least we would have had 9-3-10. At least we would have had the coordinated 9s, the coordinated 10s, and it would have taken him a lot longer to get into maybe 9-11-4 perhaps. But I went for the greedy play, and from there, literally, this was probably one of the worst games we've had this season. I plow him there. It just gets worse. I basically only build 2 cities. He's actually someone that watches the YouTube as well. So shout out to Ali Reza. He took me down brutally. Yeah, and then we just got destroyed. Absolutely destroyed. And we lose 21 rating points. Which, oh man. That certainly hurts. 21 points. Ugh, man. I really panicked on this board. It's good to look back at these. And I think maybe you just don't over panic here. Not try to do too much. I was trying to be too cute with this 9-10, 8-3-4 into 9-3-10 play. Where realistically, if we just take, you know, be simple, play 8-3-4, play 9-3-10, we can probably cut him off the extra wheat here. And we just rely on this 3. Like, we get into 9-11-4, we build into the 3-1. Maybe we can get lucky with 7s and keep this 8 blocked. Or this 10. He'll play 6-11-4 and he'll probably get into maybe 6-11-3. Like, I could even win this race into 6-11-3. Huge potential. In fact, I think we do win it. All of a sudden, like, I've got this little, you know, 3 is 3 ores. But also, I can get into 3-1. I produce a ton of wood. I do only have 1 wheat spot. But, like, yeah, we've got the ports. He might struggle. He might just struggle, especially with a 10 of wheat. I still think we're at a disadvantage because, I can't ponder too much on this game. But clearly, the moves I made weren't right. I mean, I did have 9-3-10. I wonder how much different the game goes if I just make the decision to not city here and just play 9-3-10. You know, I could have even just built a road and just waited a little bit because what rolls after? Yeah, shortly after, we get a 4, an 11, a 9, and then he builds his road. Then he 7s, steals my brick, rolls a 5, rolls another 7, steals another brick, ports for the wood. Like, we could have done something. We could have made this setup work. Yeah. I tend to play early cities. That's just my play style, and this time it didn't work out. So it is what it is. We took a absolutely brutal loss. There's the stats for you guys there. And yeah, 21 rating points really sucks. You know what else sucks? Not having the audio for these games. So we get into another one. Straight after this, I'm like, all right, let's just jump straight into the next one. No fear. If we lose another 21 rating points, we're down in the dumps, but let's try make some redemption here. All right, first pick on this board. Let's take a look at it, right? So immediately I'm looking at the 6-9-5, but I'm also looking at 8-10-5 gets this 8-10-4 back-to-back picks. I'm like, damn, is that better? Like these 10s, 2 wheat every 10. Like, you already have double wheat, but you still need the number to roll. These 8s can be an absolute menace. And who knows, you win this 5-11-4 race, all of a sudden every 5 is a road. You've got double wood, double brick. Yeah, it seems really ugly. On the counter side, the 6-9-5 player does get the 6 of wheat, which is the strongest wheat in the game. But also it's just a really solid setup, right? 6-9-5, 6-9-3. That's probably what you're looking at. The wood port's there. I can definitely win the race to 5-11-4. In fact, I should win the race because we'll have the wheat, sheep, brick. I'd need a 6 and 2 5s. He'd probably take an 8-4-10. Maybe. He could take the other 8-5-10, but this is probably the best thing to take if he wants to race. So he would need, the same thing, 2 5s and a 4. And we already need those 2 5s, but we need a 6. So, the odds are in our favor here. So ultimately, I really did think about this for a long time. I was really tossing up and I really wasn't trusting myself these couple games that I played. I was just a little bit off. Like, everything kind of seemed like, oh, am I making the wrong move here? But ultimately, I did go 6-9-5. I'm like, let's just take the best production. We have the best wheat on the board. We're going to get the 3 of wheat as well. So it's not an issue if that gets blocked. We still have a little bit of extra juice there. The 9s can come in clutch. 9s versus the 8 essentially there. Our road building is much better, much better. And we have pretty good road connect if I can win this race, right? The wood port's also here. So I'm looking at a bunch of those things. Anyway, so we take the 6-9-5. He, of course, plays 8-10-5, but as you can see, he plays this 9-4-3, which stops my 6-9-3. But also, he just kind of, I don't know, like, I guess he's on an extra number for the wheat. But he's not on those coordinated 8s now all of a sudden, and the 10 roll isn't as big for him. And there's every chance I can kind of, if a 4 doesn't roll, I can kind of make my way potentially into 5-4-10 and stop this this whole thing here. But anyway, we go 692 here, which is, you know, maybe even better than 693, just starting with that 1 ore. And now we have this 10, 9, 11, so we can get into the 10 wheat. And as the game goes by, there was a bunch of 10s and a bunch of 4s as well. But he makes a big mistake, I think. And as I go for 511 4, he heads into the sheep port. He heads into the sheep port before the 8410. I think this is the wrong move. What you want to be doing here is taking the 3 hex spots. And as soon as he did that, I'm like, oh, I've got to go for 5410 or maybe even 8410 if I can do it. Anyway, we get a couple rolls here. We don't take the settle. We decide to wait here. He did take his sheep port, and I was pretty certain that he could still get a reasonable quick road settle here. So I didn't want to be too hasty. We stole wheat from him. The 9 comes in. So we pop here. We do get the knight. And I've got this 5-4-10, but I'm really wanting this 8-4-10. Just cut off that whole expansion from him. I'm really eyeing it off here. He's obviously got a mystery dev as well. But let's keep going along here. So I do decide to build the road there, which is definitely risky by me. But we can't be robbed. His 8 is blocked right now as well. I'm tracking his hand quite well if I remember too. So I don't know his exact hand here, but let's continue on. Yeah, I'm really tossing up the settle there. You can see, look at the timer go down. 2, 1. I let it slip. He might have rolls here. That's why I was considering. Anyway, we get an 8 block. He buys another dev and the 10 rolls. So we decide to pop. Every time they pop, I want to pop as well, especially when the friendly robber's still on. So another knight was really good. That made me feel very confident. Now we have, you know, probably 2 knights, but maybe he has a VP or something. And obviously you just pray that they don't have the road builder or the yacht. And here's a crucial moment in the game, right here. He plays the knight. He plays the knight, but he cannot rob me. So he essentially wastes a knight, blocks the 10, and decides to commit to 8-4-10 when I have the settle. So just absolutely massive blunder from him, and really, really good for me. And I knew straight away that he just made a huge mistake, especially because we got rolls here, and I'm pretty certain I think he didn't have a brick. I think the 5 hadn't rolled because I only had 1 wood as well. So we were tracking that 5 roll, and no, I don't block the 5 here, but I steal a wood. So now all we need is a 6, and as you can see, we do get the 6s. Let's just let this play for a little bit. Yeah, we get the 6. We, of course, take this. Now 5-11-4 is still available as well. We have wheat ore in our hand, which isn't ideal, but he could have a non-knight, and he does. He rolls, which is insane. I'm thinking, why did he play that knight? Huge blunder by him. I decide to clear the hand now and just grab another knight, hopefully, or anything else is even better. Road builder's yops, and we do get the road builder. So yeah, these couple mistakes pretty much cost him basically the game here, because I mean, it's still pretty close, but that one mistake, man, it can really cost you. We're able to get a pretty quick city. We still have our road builder. We pull a yop as well. And yeah, that game ends reasonably fast, and I mean, you can see we've got army, we've got road, we're pulling VPs as well. 14 points to 7, and yeah, we finish this game off. We get 10 points back, which isn't terrible, but now's the important game. So I've already been playing kind of not that great, and this next game, I make probably the biggest blunder of my entire 1v1 career. Let's take a look at it. All right, this is the board that we got gifted for our 3rd game. Ah, man, this is, it's not ideal, as you can see me kind of trying to work it out here. I mean, if he takes 9-5-10, you can have this 6-5-12. 9-5-10 is probably slightly better. The issue here is, like, the roads on the way back are not good for us, because he can always take a road with 9-10-5, Let's just pause it here. You can always take this 9-10-5 or this 9-11-4. There's no real way for me to cut it off, as I'm always going to be taking 6-5-12. So do you take 6-5-12, 9-5-10, and like there's not really many ports. You don't have extra wheat. Maybe you can go to the brick port and make that work. But really, like, the extra wheat kind of wins. I mean, he can play 6-4-3 as well if he wants. There's no problem, but I probably can't play 6-4-3, 6-5-12. It's really only one ore spot and, you know, one sheep spot as well. So yeah, I really like this board for first. Just another trash board really for us, but let's just cut down the seconds here. So I'm really in the tank. Really in the tank here. Of course I take 6-5-12 first. And now I'm trying to wonder, what do I do? What would you guys do in this spot? Like 9-5-10 seems normal. It seems completely normal. You're going to build into the extra wood. But I really hate the idea of giving him 11-9-4 into 6-4-2 into 6-3. I just hate the idea of us only having one wheat spot, and he has... Sure, he has one sheep spot, I guess, but... he's just got kind of everything, you know? And maybe this does work, but we're probably not going to be... I mean, we're really relying on 5s, that's for sure. I'm not too happy about the 10 of wood, I guess. And, like, when I settle, like, where is my first settle? Is it the brick port and I get on the 9 ore as well? Or is it, you know, trying to grab some extra wood here? It probably is the standard setup, I guess. But honestly, I think if we take this, we might have lost. But here comes my biggest blunder. Let's watch it. I'm looking at like him taking this 9-11-4 into the 6-4-2. I'm really considering just playing 10-9-5 and just having kind of a solid game. I'm just trying to figure out a way in which we can somehow get into this wheat. For some reason, my mind just kind of, it goes blank. It goes blank, and with 7 seconds on the clock, I rip 9-11-4. Oh, and look at him. He almost immediately, his eyes light up. I forgot 9-5-2. I couldn't believe it. I wish the audio was still on this video, but I just like completely, I fell to my knees. I'm like, what? No, what have I done? I've just completely fumbled everything. I'm going to lose another 21 rating points. But man, this hurt. This hurt seeing that, and then also the 5 rolls, just to add a bit more pain, a bit of salt in the wound. So I was like, far out. I honestly couldn't believe that I'd done it. As you can see, I'm not even rolling. I'm just sitting there. My mouse hasn't moved. Truly, truly terrible blunder by me. And really, it cost me the game. However, you shouldn't lose hope. Because I do think to myself, you know, he only has a 2 of wood. It doesn't take a whole lot for me to get 1 road, 2 road, get another 11 roll, 3, and maybe port my ores for another wood. I don't know, like, there's a little bit of hope, right? He hasn't rolled a card since the 5. You know, we've rolled an 11. Okay, sure, the 5 rolls. He might take an early city as well. We can potentially rob a few cards off him. Oh, there you go. He does take an early city. 9-5-10. All of a sudden, you know, maybe we could get 6-4-3. There's sort of an idea here. And I think the ballsy play here is to go for it, right? The odds are probably not in your favor completely. Like, you could just go to the 9-12 and, you know, just play in kind of still a solid setup. This is completely a gamble, but if it pays off, maybe we can make this game work. So I decide to go for it. He rolls 7. 12 is definitely something. We're getting all these rolls here. 5, okay. We have 4 ore. All of a sudden, all we need is an 11. I'm not sure what his hand was. He had, you know, a bunch of everything but the wood, really. And I don't think the 10 had rolled. So he has no sheep here. So he's missing 2 cards. But of course, he's got 4 ore as well. The 4 rolls. As he ports for the wood. And then we get the best roll we could have ever hoped for. The only roll. The 11. We get absolutely saved. We do have to port our ore, so it does come at a cost. But he also just ported his ore for a wood as well. And we get saved. We get the 6-4-3. We took the long way around. I don't know how it worked, but it worked. Now all of a sudden we have tremendous amount of wheat. And this game's all of a sudden like really playable for us. I had ideas of coming into 6-2. I wasn't too worried about maybe the brick port per se. And what ends up happening is roll 7. He rolls a lot of 9s. This is my brick, rolls another 9. He plows me to that brick port. So now my idea is to get to this 6-2. Grab the 3-1, and then from there, 6-11-3, all that good stuff. Get the city up on 6-5-12. We get a few rolls here. The 12 comes in really clutch for most of the game. And we're able to keep this 10 blocked and consistently buy devs here. While he's porting all his ores just to build roads. As he defends this 6-2. But ultimately, we just kind of snowball into another city. And then we pull a road builder. Keeping him blocked most of the game. And man, I don't know how we did it, but we pulled off this win. I wish I had the audio for you guys. Truly, I do. Look at that. He finished on 6 points. Probably 7 points, but man. Insane that we won this game from this setup. I couldn't believe that I missed this plow. I don't know what it was about this day. I was just super off. I was just not focused. Probably played my worst. It's a shame that I didn't have the audio for these games because I was freaking out. But there we go. We got our 20 points back. So we lose 1 rating essentially, but we're still only 1 win away from the number 1 spot. 0-2s really helped us, and 3-12s certainly did the job. But there you go, guys. That is just a little update. I know it's a different video. I know it's not quite the same as the live gameplay, but just wanted to make sure everyone was updated with where we're at on the 1v1 account. And yeah, guys, I appreciate you all for watching as always. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out.